This is Tank's Vlog, wrapping up today in sports, December 1st, 2017. It was the beginning of championship week and in college football. As the conference championships get played, and we get to find out who goes where for each bowl game on Sunday. Now, the Friday night was the Pac-12 championship game. USC came in number 10. Now, they have a slight chance to get into the FBS playoff. A lot of things will have to happen. Oklahoma will have to lose. Miami would have to beat Clemson, and although Miami will probably get in themselves if they do that. Ohio State will have to beat Wisconsin, and even that, there's so many teams ahead of USC on the depth chart. It's very hard to imagine them actually slipping in. But winning the Pac-12 championship, of course, gets them a major bowl game, a New Year's Six bowl game. So a lot was still at stake as they played Stanford. And USC played the game well. And the big moment came in the fourth quarter when Stanford, on the goal line, chose to go for it instead of tying the game. And that was what the game was decided. That 3 points there. USC then scored a touchdown. Stanford scored a touchdown. But it was at 3 points. That goal line stand saved this game. And you got to wonder how things could have been different if Bryce Love was healthy. And Bryce Love, he played a strong game, but you could tell how bad his leg is. He's hobbling. I will be shocked if Bryce Love actually plays in the bowl game. There's nothing for him to play for at this moment. If he's getting ready for the draft, you don't want to risk doing any further damage. So, Bryce Love, that could be a lot of interesting thing there. That could have been the end of his college career. With the weekend, I have did my six-pack pick, so I'll just go right into that right now. I like Memphis to upset Central Florida in the AAC championship game for a big six spot, New Year's Six spot. I think even though they're undefeated, the Central Knights or the Golden Knights are a little distracted with their coach trying to openly campaign for the Nebraska job. Remember, Scott Frost, you're the coach of UCF right now. You might become the next coach of Nebraska. In fact, I think it would be wise for Nebraska to pick you. But focus on getting the Knights to an undefeated season and into a good bowl game. Big 12 championship game. Oklahoma's number 2 at the moment. I see the Sooners winning this game rather easily. I think Baker Mayfield is right now the Heisman candidate. I think he's the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman. And I see the Sooners winning this game over TCU, and they'll definitely punch their ticket. Georgia was ranked number 1 a month ago when they went into Auburn, and they lost to Jordan-Hare Stadium, much like Alabama did last week. Now Auburn, though, has to go into Atlanta to win the SEC championship game. Winner of this game is short a spot in the FBS. I like the Bulldogs to get some revenge. I think they won't play as poorly as they did last month. I like Georgia to win the game, and Auburn just to be left on the outside looking in. Mountain West championship game last week. Boise State, I think they played basically like a ho-hum game, didn't really put their cards on the table as they played Fresno State and lost in Fresno, knowing they were going to meet again this week at the Blue Turf for Boise. It's a high spread. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Boise State wins the game. ACC championship game. Miami got exposed last week. They were always frauds. Clemson in a laugher. And in the Big Ten championship game, this is another big spot. Wisconsin, they're undefeated, but you know what? They've never really played anybody. and they're even underdogs in this game. Now, if JT Barrett's healthy, I could see Ohio State winning it big, but I don't know if that's guaranteed. That 5 points is the Badgers are putting up is awful juicy. I mean, if you're going to make some bets at MyBookie AG, that's a good one that's tempting to take. Though in the end, I think Ohio State wins. Now, if Ohio State wins, it opens the door for Alabama to get into the Final Four. Now, last year, Ohio State got in without winning their conference championship game. This year, they win their conference championship game, let someone who didn't win get in, and now they're going to be the ones steamed. Just how it goes in this wild, crazy sport where you only have 4 teams in the championship. Sports going to the pros today. NBA. Warriors over the Magic. Wizards over the Pistons. Raptors over the Pacers. Heat over Hornets. Kings crown the Bulls. Spurs over the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are now on a 10-game losing streak. Thunder finally ended their skid, beating the Timberwolves 111-107, and the Jazz beat the Pelicans 114-108. But the real news in that game is groin injury suffered by Anthony Davis. Whenever he goes down, the Pelicans are in trouble, and at 11-11, this is going to be a big test for DeMarcus Cousins to keep this team in the playoff hunt. NHL tonight, Devils began a road trip in Colorado, won 2-1 as Sami Vatanen made his Devil debut. Made some good plays on defense, so they needed defense. I understand that. I'm just going to miss Adam Henrique. But at least they looked good tonight, so that's a good start, and they're still playing great hockey, still playing exciting brand of hockey. It's been a really good start for the Devils. The Rangers got a hat trick from Michael Grobner to beat the Hurricanes 5-1. The Penguins blanked the Sabres. The Senators edged the Islanders in a 6-5 high-scoring game. The Blue Jackets doubled up to the Ducks 4-2. The Sharks over the Panthers. The Kings over the Blues. And the Jets shot down the Golden Knights. 3 stars. It's Tristan Jarry, who scored 34, had that 34 save shutout, playing in place of the injured Matt Murray for the Penguins. Grobner of the Rangers, who had a hat trick. And Paul George, who had 36 points in the win for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Today's birthday shout-out goes to Aaron Rodgers, who's still healing from his broken collarbone, as the Packers' playoffs dreams have been broken. And we take a look back to 1985, when the Chicago Bears lost their only game of the season, with many 72 Dolphins on the sideline, as the Dolphins won 38-24 in an unforgettable Monday night game at the Orange Bowl. Check the full story at Barstool Sports and at Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Good day.